Hey, hi, how are you? My name is Phil. Welcome back to some Magic the Gathering Arena. Today we are playing some Rude Demir nonsense with Tasha, Unholy Archmage. This is the altered version of the card that exists only on Arena. I do kind of wish we got the actual physical card on Arena, but we can't win them all. And this version of the card is pretty cool, even if it is a tad insane. Those of you who might not have seen this card, because it doesn't get played in any format other than essentially historic Brawl, until the end of your next turn, whenever a creature attacks you or Tasha, you put a -1/-1 counter on it. That's different than dealing damage. That's a -1/-1 counter, which is much, much harder for most decks to get rid of, giving Tasha really solid protection on the turn she lands. You also have a -2 if target opponent puts a creature card of their choice from their graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, and it gains Ward 2, meaning that if your opponent doesn't have many creature cards in their yard, you can just, like, you know, steal whatever they have down there. Could be a ramp creature, could be a hate creature, could be just something that they discarded because they couldn't play it yet. Who knows? And the -6, the real banger of a ability here. Target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal 3 creature cards. Put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. That player puts the rest into their graveyard. Tasha plays in Hellq. What is Hellq? Hellq is typically where the highest powered commander, or sorry, historic Brawl, the highest powered commanders for historic Brawl, go. A lot of the highest powered historic Brawl decks don't run many creatures because they have to run so much interaction to keep up with the other super fast decks in this format. And some are often like the Prismatic Bridge, Golos, or potentially like Kennen, or Prismatic Bridge, Golos, Kennen, and who's the other one? Joda, where they just play lots of really powerful creatures that give you tons of advantage anyways. So you're either milling out most of your opponent's deck and stealing the few creatures they have, or just stealing some of their more powerful creatures and possibly combo pieces. It's a really powerful ability, and since it's only a -6, it's not that hard to get. One piece of, I don't know, proliferation will get you there. We don't actually run that much proliferation on the deck. This deck's more about tempo control and keeping your opponent from playing much. That'll actually hurt you, hence the Duress, the Inquisition of Kozilek. Stuff like that will really keep your opponent down. Tons of removal, decent amount of counterspells, and hand hate. Lots of ramp in the artifact department. Arcane Signet, Cold Steelheart, Guardian Idol, Mind Stone, lots of stuff that really gets you rolling. We're not running any like 3-drop ramp because most of our 3-drops are stuff that is either things we want to play and protect, or stuff that'll just be played at instant speed. We do run a couple of copies of cards like Sedgemoor Witch, which are things that just kind of give you like just a little bit of an upside. Sedgemoor Witch is great for clogging up the ground if things don't start going your way. We do technically have another proliferation creature with Flux Channeler, which when you cast it on creature spell, you proliferate. It's pretty nice. We also have Tezzeret's Gambit, but it's also just to draw 2 cards for 3 mana, which is not terrible. We have this Jason here because he's pretty good. I don't believe we have any other Jaces. Run Teferi's Ageless Insight to help refill our hand faster. Another Teferi. Lots of stuff. And then a Liliana Dreadhorde General to really help you out. It's also a Teferi Master of Time in here. Lots of cards and Planeswalkers that'll probably draw Planeswalker hate that'll allow Tasha to go unimpeded, or Tasha will get attacked by all the Planeswalker hate, and then your other Planeswalkers get to land unimpeded and just change the face of the game. Really crazy speed of a deck at times, and quite often can just kind of control the tempo of a game. Deck list will be down in the description below as per usual, and let's hop right into some gameplay. Opponent goes first. We have a pretty slow hand, which is really unfortunate. If my opponent has any ramp, we won't even have time to play Guardian Idol. But I do really, really like this hand. If my opponent just doesn't have mana ramp on turn 2, we're fine, because we can counter the Helana and Elena and profit. Because decks like this just try and get out Helana and Elena as fast as possible, and go ham with it. Unfortunately, they are playing a Shadow Spear, which means that they are constantly going to be holding up priority. No mana dorks. That is not actually ramp. That does not actually ramp them at all, so we are totally fine to keep ramping ourselves. Important distinction. This does not give them extra mana until they play another creature that helps them. Like Gwenna. But Gwenna is tapped at the moment, so they can't do anything. We will try and kill Gwenna. we kill Quina. Why are we so aggressively going after Quina? This thing will give them so much free mana if we let it. Oh, no, 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 no. You're not allowed to play that. Thank you. Come again. And your opponent scoops. Welcome to Hellq. Believe it or not, you will run into Halana and Elena a lot up here because it's one of the Gruul commanders that goes really, really fast and can take down even control decks really fast, and you have to be able to answer stuff at that tempo. So GG's opponent, on to the next. Opponent is going first. We have tons of great interaction, and I'm tempted to keep because of it. We should be able to deal with Krinko by the time it pops up. Turn 1 Faithless Looting makes me feel pretty good. Turn 1 Faithless Looting by a Krinko means that they didn't get exactly what they wanted, but they thought looting would get them there. Getting rid of a Braid and Gleeful Demolition really makes me feel good about my chances. They can't play Krinko. I was trying to decide what would be the right decision there. I really want to play Key to the Archive on curve, but I know I need to hold up Disdainful Stroke for Krinko himself. Burnished Heart. Not exactly what I was expecting to see here. Interesting. I guess they just didn't hit any lands and they just really wanted to hit more lands. Alright, this is awkward then. Actually, this is much less awkward than I thought it would be. We just play in plus Tasha. They have to answer her now. They just play Krinko, we either Witness Protect or Bloodchief's Thirst it. Right? Target non-basic land. If it swings, it dies. Super rude play there, though. If either one of these swing, they die. They're reading? They forgot how to read?
Don't come any.
We will go ahead and kill this, just to make sure. We are generally in a bad spot here, but we have potential to make a solid, just controlling game plan. If we just, honestly, if we just keep plussing Tasha, it'll be really hard for Krinko to even get a foothold against us. Just plus Tasha over and over and over again. They need an Anthem effect in order to be able to get out of the situation effectively. They just threw away an Anthem effect. I guess they were just like, it doesn't give me it. It doesn't give me the,
Beware.
It doesn't give me the extra toughness that I need, so they were like, yeah, it's gone. I guess. Hazaret's Monument. I don't think so. I don't think I want you to be looting with cheaper creatures. They are digging for something right now. Holy cow. I think no matter... They dropped... Why did they drop Torbran? We unfortunately just need a lot of mana now, so I think we have to do it like this. I don't want to do this, it really slows down my tempo. But I think we have to play it like this. They got Krinko out, that's fine. Krinko still also gains the downside. We also have a Time Warp here. If any of these things attack, they die instantly. The only thing they have that currently does not... Opponent! Opponent! If you attack anything, it gets a -1/-1 counter. Like, I know Goblin's gonna Goblin, but like, Jesus, man. They all... So they all die unless they attack exactly that. Alright. Go ahead and take an extra turn.
Beware. I know some sickening magic.
Go ahead and draw 3 cards and proliferate. We were basically just like hunting for a board wipe at this point, I think. We don't really get scared by this thing flipping, you know? I think we do this. Make a zombie to just kind of chump block, and then we have an Ornithopter of Paradise to also chump block. Making it just harder for them to swing in on a lot of stuff. They're not really there to give us mana or anything. Okay, not an Anthem effect, don't need to worry yet. The problem is they can't attack face until they find an Anthem, and there's a really good chance that we will just doesn't give them anything. Alright, let us go digging for something, shall we? Fatal Push, not good. We're just gonna keep plussing, honestly.
Come any closer.
Good help is easy to find.
And we have Sublime Epiphany now, so I think we're basically immortal. We have 2 different counter spells in hand here. That more or less make it impossible for them to play an Anthem effect that boosts their everything. They try and play like an expensive Anthem, we disdainful stroke it. If they try and play a non-expensive Anthem, we Sublime Epiphany it. I think they're just going with the game plan of, I'll eventually have enough that an Anthem effect will push me through the Tasha. Goblin Charbelcher? No. I've played enough of other formats to know that I'm not letting you have that shitty card. Okay, it's not a shitty card. It's a really powerful card. It's part of like a turn 1 win combo. Or sorry, turn 4 win. Turn 4 win for several formats. You can attack whatever you want, buddy. Go for it. Be my guest. I don't know why they're swinging 6. I'm not gonna bother to block. I'm just hunting down my only board wipe at this point. Did we just kill that? I think we do. I don't think there's a reason not to kill it. It's one of the only things that threatens me. And then I think we've hit our... we've hit kind of critical mass on mana. We can do that. We're really close to being able to just ultimate Liliana, by the way. Which I believe we can do now, right? Whenever we cast a non-creature spell, proliferate? Yeah. We can just ultimate, we can just ultimate Liliana here, and now my opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest, so they get a creature, a land, and artifact. So there goes all of this lovely stuff that they've built up over on that side of the battlefield. That was nice. Anyways. There's the scoop. Yeah, you're currently seeing why Tasha is way up here in Hell Queue against the likes of Krenko. Did you know that unless you get an Anthem effect, you can just infinitely plus Tasha and just halt a horde of goblins in their path? And then if you, I don't know, get a Liliana or a board wipe and just take care of their everything, they kind of can't make a comeback? And you will just eventually find a way to win? Pretty cool. GG's opponent. On to the next. What? I didn't even get to hit record. What happened? Did I have fun? No. What happened? I guess Lavinia was scared. We are going first into Galazeth Prismari, a very, very cool Lizard commander. I tried to make decks around this commander several times. I really like it as a card. I don't know how to build a deck around it, though. Every time I play it, I'm like, but like, wouldn't it just be better if I had Niv Mizzet in the command zone? But I'm a Niv Mizzet enjoyer, so. We will just play this tapped, because there's no reason for us to play it untapped, into what is probably going to be a, like, tempo controlling deck. Yeah. We want to just mana ramp ASAP. The fact that they had no interaction there bodes well. Ecads, we get to play Tasha. And now we have 3 counter spells in hand and a kill spell. Maybe help us out here. I think the best they can... I don't even know what the best they could do in this instance is.
Don't come any.
Getting out Tasha as early as turn 3 into decks like potentially whatever my opponent's playing could be very, very strong. Alright, let's see what they play. If they try and counter the effect here, I do have spells that I can use. Looks like they do play a bit more of a mid-range plan, but we did just steal a Hullbreaker Horror. I was gonna say, like, I don't know what type of deck they're playing. It's hard to tell, but we just stole their Hullbreaker Horror and their Ledger Shredder. That is abysmal. That is so hard to come back from. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, opponent. GG's. Opponent's going first, playing Pied Noir, Council of Revival. Unfortunately, I believe this means that I can't actually counterspell this thing on curve. Which is really rough. So, Thopters, they control a face when they play land from exile or card, or cast a spell from exile, they make a Thopter. Okay. I think in that instance, we're just gonna ramp out into Tasha ASAP. They didn't play their commander. Alright, well, never mind. We're not going to ramp out into Tasha ASAP. We're going to hold up counter magic and removal and a flash. Interesting. Now we're going to go ahead and flash this guy in. Because why not? No reason not to go ahead and flash them in response to that. Are they going to play a removal spell there? Huh? No? Okay. Then we do this because we can just keep holding up Tail's End. And maybe potentially grow my Brine Ball and Cutthroat. Opponent's going for lots of open mana right now. Kind of scary. Don't know what the game plan is. Alright, they're scrying for something. Very confused, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, they're just going for Arcane Bombardment straight up. Spicy. I'm just gonna go for Tasha then.
When I win, I'd love keep your distance, mortals.
I'm really surprised by the just slam Arcane Bombardment on curve here. I guess it's the whole idea of they just want to do stuff with Inhalar. What is this? When it attacks, conjure a card, name something into my hand, and then a thing. Alright, we're just going to try and kill that then. That doesn't sound good for me. Do I want that guy? I don't think I want that guy. I think we just vibe and hang out.
I know some sickening magic.
I don't even know if I want to really steal their creatures. No, that's mine. Leave my Mind Stone alone. Egads, their commander is out. How much do they have down there? 3? That's a 2-drop commander. I can kill it. You okay, opponent? You wanna talk about it? I'm assuming they're gonna try and get Lethal Demo. Okay. They're exiling a card from their hand to do this. We're just gonna blow up their commander then. I don't quite know the point of what that was about, but hey, man. Hilarious fact: March always gets cast for X equals 0 when you cast it from underneath something like that. Let's go see what cards they play. What you got down there, buddy?
I'm not even a little upset. You weren't impressed before.
Oh my god, we got a Bergie, an Owl, and a Forgetful Hollyphant. Oh my goodness gracious, what a find. What did we get out of them? They have a Sunfall of Anger's Though, Zoning of Parade, Brotherhood's End, Mizzix's Mastery. What are they gonna hit? They hit a Braid. No, not Bergie. I was gonna use that card. Maybe. I guess. I don't know. He's gonna kill an Artificer Dragon with an Unearth ability. Spicy. What does this thing specialize into? Who cares? Bonk. Give me something. What you want to give me?
I've made some
Give me a creature.
improvements
It's mine now,
for your
whatever it is.
version.
Thanks for the burgie. I admire their moxie of the Arcane Bombardment play. But as you can see, that didn't quite work out in their favor. I like the idea of turboing out Arcane Bombardment to go with P and the Lar, but I just don't know if Boris is the right color scheme to do that in. You do have some pretty powerful cards. I guess being able to just like repeatedly cast like Soul Partition, Sunfall, Brotherhood's End would probably work out in the end, but like, I don't know. Not the biggest fan, but I do admire the moxie. It was a cool idea. GG's opponent. Opponent goes first, and unfortunately, I kind of have to keep this. Being able to instantly Fatal Push a Ragavan is invaluable. So we're just going to hope that we draw something good. Kind of all there is to it. We just hope we draw something good. You can't afford to not have a kill spell for a Ragavan. I'm shocked they didn't insta-scoop. I swear, every single time I play into Ragavan players, they like insta-scoop. The second that I kill their precious little monkey. Fable, nice. That's that token though. This does give us a scry. Wow, we got an awful hand, huh? And yeah, Mystical Dispute is perfect here. Allows us to counter their Ragavan, and then allows us to play Tasha afterwards, which just generally keeps Ragavan at bay. He's a 2-1, even if they dash him. They can't really do much. Mystical Dispute is mostly in here for the blue counter matchups. What the fuck? There are no non-basics in your library. Deals 3 to any target. Nah. I don't want to deal with that card. We'll just counter it. Play Tasha. It's not really a huge deal. It's just a 3-3 that's kind of annoying. So I think after this our best play is to play to Fairy. And just start building up resources. It's sushi, not my favorite thing to see, but Tasha does not in fact die now.
Any closer.
Yeah, I think the best play really is just play to Fairy and then draw here. They can't kill either one of them because of Tasha's +1 there. I guess they could do this and then, like, as a result of this, like, lightning bolt her, perchance?
Out of any predicament.
Ah.
No setbacks next time.
So they're just a really, really boring deck. Noted. I'm shocked they didn't just immediately play their monkey there. Let's go grab Tail's End. Hello? There we go. Jesus. Why are we grabbing Tail's End? Because we want to make them think twice about playing anything that's legendary. We can't really afford to go, counterspell. Okay, I don't know what my opponent's doing with all this mana, but hey man. Gilded Pinions. A very well-known card inside of the Ragavan decks. My opponent has now gone down to like 2 cards in hand, and sure they have a ton of mana, but I don't quite know how any of this makes a goddamn bit of difference to me. We have removal. We have a counterspell. Professional Facebreaker. Egads! What does that do? Gives it flying? Okay, bye. Gonna sacrifice a bunch of treasures to be able to... Yeah, okay. I guess they just really wanted to make sure they hit a land there? I don't know. Make sure we tap properly. And then, what do you want to give me? I'm stealing your cards. What are you giving me? It's Sushi, or Facebreaker, or Hoarding Ogre, or Magmatic Scorchwing? Yeah, you gotta give me a creature there. What you giving me? What's mine now? What's yours is mine, opponent. Riveteer's Requisitioner. When it dies, I make a treasure token. Kind of okay by me. I think we're just kind of on steal my opponent's cards territory here. I'm obviously going to counter it to make it cost more. There's no reason for me not to counter it to make it cost more. I also believe that they could have dashed it and equipped the golden pinions if they had just gone for that the first time, but they can't anymore. I believe they're out. Oh no, they had exactly enough. Oh no! Oh, they went to combat though. Oh, that's embarrassing. Because now I just get to plus Tasha. And play Teferi, Master of Time. Who does kind of hard take care of your little monkey boy. This guy can lock the monkey out of the game if I want. It has word too, by the way. Okay, they played the monkey. Do they have like swift foot boots maybe? Chandra, Heart of Fire! That's a card. Okay, what does it do? Deals 2 damage to any target, discard your hand, then exile the top 3. Okay.
Have you seen my hair?
Make sure you
I guess they just like...
regretting that.
Alright, we're just gonna go ahead and phase out Ragavan so we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Give it your best
Draw a
shot.
discard, we don't need that. Bonk Chandra.
Leave me alone.
And if they try and target Teferi with a +1 to deal 2,
Stay back.
each non-elemental creature? Okay, sure. Or an emblem? X equals 5, huh? Man, you really, really just, like, hate, huh? If they target Teferi, we just plush them because of how this works. You can hit Chandra, but I can, or Tasha, but I can just, like, replay her, man. I wasn't expecting Chandra Tribal from the Ragavan deck, but hey, people make dumb decisions all the time. Was that targeting? Oh, yeah, I just plus him. Hold Steel Heart. Unnecessary. You did your damage, bud. You did it. You still got one whole loyalty. Sword of Forge and Frontier. A thing they cannot equip. Ragavan, feel free to swing in, my boy. Bonk the monkey. Go ahead and steal something else of theirs. Tasha can die, it's fine.
That's all.
What you want to give me, buddy?
I've made some improvements over your version.
Ah, thank you, Ogre. We will draw a discard.
Don't worry.
We don't have a legendary, do we? Oh, we do. Yeah. Okay, we can discard around in the lock then. Take an extra turn, bounce, go to Forge and Frontier. Bonk that.
Feel free to stop that.
Take my turn. And they concede because they realize they've been outmatched, outgunned, and quite possibly outarmed. Which is funny because Ragavan has 2 arms, as does Tasha. But yeah, that is kind of how you have to play into Ragavan. You have to just like denial of resources, blow them up. It's a battle of attrition. Sometimes Ragavan wins. In this case, they did not. I honestly feel like they could have had a chance if they had blown up the Tasha in place of blowing up the Teferi. Tasha getting me back this Hoarding Ogre made this next turn so much better. I don't have to choose which Chandra dies. I get to kill both of them. Yeah, GG's opponent. You did play well. You had me on my back foot. On to the next. We are going first into Kaya the Inexonerable. The... what is it? When creature dies, bring it back? When creature dies or is put into exile, return it and create a spirit token. It's the annoying one, but not the difficult to deal with. I really wanted to rest them, but I think a better plan is to just hard ramp into Jace. I can get card advantage rolling. Maybe hard ramp into Tasha. Children's Edict, okay. We'll lose 4 life for this, but it does get a Jace out on board.
Surrender your mind to Phyrexian. No secret.
Alright, well, we made them go over 2 lands and an Arcane Signet. Hopefully they needed those. Blight Belly Rat. Alright. What are you actually playing, opponents? Okay. Alright, that one just has minuses where they can escape it. Staff of Completion, I think, is the most annoying one by far.
Organic mind.
And we can use Elspeth's Nightmare to get rid of this and then hit something else from their hand as well. There's no reason for that Blightbelly Rat to swing in. I think we do just Brainstorm here. And my opponent scoops it up because they see the writing on the wall, and that writing says... shit. Hitting away the Staff of Completion, milling over 3 pieces of mana ramp for them, I think really helped me out. I think this could have ended up going really bad for me if things went any differently. But GG's. Alright, we're on the draw. That is a completely unkeepable hand. This is much better. Counterspell removal. Something actually playable. It has probably been like 3 or 4 different games since the last time we saw each other, dear viewer. I got a barrage of Hellq commanders where I just physically could not draw lands. It was rough. Danatha. 2/2 for Strike. I don't know how big they can make that get in 1 turn, but I feel like Tasha will hopefully make it so that it doesn't grow insurmountably large in a turn. Oh, it might be insurmountably large in a turn. Wow, that is rough.
Finally, a worthy opponent. Don't come any
I can't play anything here. I'm stuck. I wonder if they have any protection spells. We don't really have a way to deal with that if they do. Alright, that bodes well for me. We actually got to do that. Maul of the Skyclaves is much worse when it has to be played like that. Do we think they're gonna play... Yeah.
I know some sick
I think we have to just pass. I don't think we have a choice. I think if they're allowed to resolve Sir Gwyn. Or that. Oh, thank God, they're conceded. I was out of options after that. I could not let Sir Gwyn resolve because all of their knights within being able to equip Maul would make Tasha useless in this matchup. Getting rid of Danatha was a really lucky hit. But I was missing lands left and right. I really wanted to get out to Fairy's Ageless Insight, but I knew I couldn't afford to. Guess I needed a full cost wash away something. Oh god, that was a scary matchup. Sir Gwyn can murder you so fast if you're not ready. It can be insanely fast. But GG's opponent, you had me on the back foot, believe it or not. On to the next. Professor Onyx. Spicy. We keep probably turn 1 Dismal Blackwater, I think. Then we can either turn to Heartless Act some Mana Dork or like Inquisition of Kozilek and go hunting in their hand for something. Let's go see. What are you playing? Sacrifices a creature. -X/-X. Creature. Destroy target creature. I guess we get rid of the one that targets enchantments as well? That was a wild thing to look at there. Jeez. Man. Unfortunately, they do have Grim Bounty, which just hits Tasha. So I can't play Tasha out without protection. Alright, well, we got protection, but we're several turns away from casting it. Also, we know that's Poison the Cup, even though they foretold it. We know it's Poison the Cup. And we already have double black. Let's get some more blue. And we're just gonna literally just like draw go them because we see that they are mostly removal over there, so we don't really care that much. Do we care enough to counter their Professor Onyx? This really screams I'm not playing anything other than removal spells. But that's a little funny. Alright, well that changed the tempo drastically. We now play Tasha.
This fight will be
And
relaxing.
the only way that I saw they had of killing it was Grim Bounty, which is a 4-mana spell, which makes it take their entire turn, and this counterspell provides so much value, baby. Math is hard. 6, 7, 10. No, we need one more mana.
Don't come any.
We need one more
closer.
mana to be able to play Jin. That's very unfortunate. Yeah, they whiffed their land drops. They got super aggressive with the, What do you got?
You know, dueling used
Yo,
to
me,
be
potato
fun.
salad. Okay. Do they not run creatures? They might not run creatures. I really wanted to see. I really wish they'd let that resolve. Because, like, the idea that I was getting was looking at these cards they were playing was that they didn't play a lot of creatures. They might not play any creatures. It might be like mono black control where the only win con is Onyx's trigger of making people lose life. Combine that maybe with like Shieldred triggers perchance. But that's my assumption. They might only run like a couple of creatures. GG's opponent. You did make me have to play differently, so I'll give you mad props for that. I'm really sad we didn't get to play Jin. I feel like that would have made them freak. Either ways. On to the next. Opponent goes first. We have a very keepable hand. Counterspell, double pieces of removal, sorcery, and instant speed. If we draw a land, I'm very happy because that means Black Market Connections gets a ton of value. And we can maybe just ramp out Tasha into Karn's ASAP. I'm so happy with this because Joda decks will sometimes play mana dorks that you want to blow up. I should have played the blue. That's my bad. I didn't notice that I dropped until it was too late. I was too busy thinking about the turn 1 hold up fatal push play. Sometimes play mana dorks, like Ornithopters of Paradise and such. That feels like a counterspell. And we have to Heartless Act it, but we really need to make sure that we hit our land drop. Good. Yeah, it doesn't allow me. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, why is it telling me that I can do that? I can't. And I can't. I think on this next turn, it's probably going to end up having to be a full cost of Bloodchief's Thirst. I swear, though, the Shuffler is broken in Joda decks. The number of times I've seen a Joda deck that doesn't mulligan get a turn 3 Gwynna, mind-blowing. We have to do it like this, just in case. We also get to see if that's a counterspell, and it's really feeling like a counterspell. That really feels like a counterspell. They let it resolve. Wow. That's crazy. That's sushi. Alright, well, since we hit the Fading Hope, we're much more confident and comfortable here. I don't really want any of these, so we'll just drop the Claim the Firstborn. There's a 50-50 on how I want to handle this. I feel like countering Joda is the play. I feel like... Let me do some math here, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll have 9 men on this next turn. If I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will have 10. Wasn't expecting the Atraxa. I'll have 10 if I draw a land. Do I risk it? I think we risk it for the biscuit. We get to draw 2 cards here. This'll take out a lot from us. But I think if we hit a untapped land, which we did... It allows us to play Karns.
Let's make this snappy. Give it your best shot, adventurers.
Which gives us an extra turn. We will start playing it safer. We will do this. We will Fading Hope that away.
Now.
We will power up the Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Swing for 9, eating their Gwynna. And my opponent is in a very tedious predicament. We have a Disdainful Stroke for any big stuff, and a Wash Away for any command zone stuff. And then we will be able to steal stuff with Tasha, which will be very cool. Very cool and poggers. That's poggers, but in a fancy accent. And that should be it. Oh, I didn't expect the concession, but I think they saw the writing on the wall. They knew that Tasha was about to steal a bunch of creatures. I was, at best, going to lose 1 life, and I might have more counter magic in hand. GG's Joda, but we got really lucky on the turbo ramp between Key and Black Market. On to the next. So that's the gameplay, and that's the deck. That's Tasha, Unholy Archmage, a very powerful Dimir commander who runs a very controlling strategy. There's quite a few games that didn't make it into this video because I just got run over by aggro decks. Be smarter than I was when I was playing those games. Mulligan very aggressively. We have tons of amazing answers to aggro decks. Between Rona's Vortex and Fading Hope to just bounce stuff. Fatal Push and Bloodchief's Thirst to destroy stuff. Go for the Throat, Heartless Act, Hero's Downfall, Elspeth's Nightmare, Feed the Swarm. Just be smarter than I was. I've kept several very bad hands into aggro. Or just faster paced decks than Tasha is. And you just can't do that because Tasha plays some very, very powerful decks in the queue because of how Wizards has this all set up. Don't be surprised if you see Golos and Kennen. I ran into them quite a few times. I don't know if any of those made it into the video. I don't think they did because they're just really fast decks and you need to have a lot of answers to deal with the fact that by turn 3, Kennen will typically have like 12 mana available to him if he ramped properly. And by turn 3, Golos will typically have played like 3 things you need the counterspell because if Golos gets mana ramp, then it gets mana and land ramp, which is just rough. But overall, Tasha does hold up pretty well in those matchups. You just have to be really smart and really aggressive about mulliganing, looking for the right answers, making sure that you're drawing through your deck as fast as possible to always hit what you need for the matchup. Overall, I think Tasha's pretty powerful. You might want to just like edit the deck to your own preferences, depending on what you have, what you don't have, including maybe like River's Rebuke or an extra Blood on the Snow type effect to destroy all creatures. If you think that that's wise. I personally might have added in an extra board wipe to deal with the handful of aggro decks that rule the upper ends of the queue. But overall, I think this deck is very fun and very manageable. Thanks for hanging out and watching. Appreciate you being here, dear viewers. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. All that stuff helps me out greatly, and I hope to catch you in the next one.